Hey everybody, welcome to Damage Check. Tonight we're talking about Think Savers, we're talking ARG, we're talking meta, resist, and everything else. So stay tuned and get ready for a fun time. Hello everybody, this is Team Absolution. It's been a long time since you guys have seen us behind a camera, but it's a new year and time for new things. So this is our new segment that we're going to be starting. It's called the Damage Check. We're going to be bringing you everything in Vanguard news, spoilers, commentary, thoughts, to help you become better players and just to get the news out there because, you know, it's kind of hard to collaborate it all together. So, I'm Jose. We got over here
Travis.
Braxton.
Jorge.
Jorge's too hard to understand. I'm sure you can put your subtitle box down there and figure out what he's saying. I'm not kidding. YouTube's translation's off a little bit. They say like cheese and breakfast or something like that. So we're going to start off pretty simple. We're going to start with the ARG Orlando event. Woo! We're going to start off by talking how... Braxton, what took first place?
Think Saver. Just pure Think Saver Wingle, actually.
So just to be clear, not Think Saver Abyss, right?
Nope. No one likes the doggy over here.
I'm not going to lie, that really took me by surprise. You know, looking at the Japanese meta, I was really expecting Thing Abyss to just completely dominate, so...
You didn't know? Over here we hate animals.
True that.
Peter, don't hate us.
We let them starve.
So, I have to agree with you guys. I was also in the surprise category that, you know, I always thought the Thing Abyss was going to take it, but people here don't like to let the dog hit. Jorge, what does that tell us about Vanguard between us and Japan?
We're just different. Like, it has happened before. When BT10 came out, everybody thought it was the apocalypse because, you know, we got EDD and we got 4 of them and it got banned in Japan. Didn't do much. It's a good deck, but it wasn't the dominant levels of destruction there was in Japan. And actually, that was the thing that made Pale Moon win in Japan was the whole dominance of EDD. Here, the whole meta was different. Mm-hmm. American Cardfight Player players play a different game than Japanese Cardfight players. It's part of what
makes us and
yes.
them.
Another few things I want to bring up. Even though it's success in the extreme fight scene, Spike Brothers did not perform well.
They showed up.
They showed up in numbers.
Now,
I didn't think they were going to do well, but I mean...
Now, I'm not going to lie. This didn't really surprise me. Now, don't get me wrong. Spike Brothers is a very popular clan. A lot of people play it. But in this meta where you're gaining so much advantage with Thing Saber, Abyss, I mean, once you gas out...
Too.
Exactly. Once you gas out with Spike Brothers, what are you going to do?
Die.
You know, it's just... There's not much you can... You can't pressure anymore, so you just sit there and take all their attacks over and over.
Spike's a one-trick pony. It's John Madden the deck.
Yeah.
John Madden the deck.
Yes, John Madden the
deck.
It actually got a good showing in Japan Nationals for English format.
Yeah.
So it got some nice results. It actually was part of the meta. I cannot actually answer why. There's not much information on that. But it also first shows the difference between us and Japanese Cardfight players. I mean, if you don't get it off, the deck is kind of dead.
Yeah, definitely. 2 last things. Aqua Force and Genesis made a show. Just low top 8, not that big. We're going to have to move on from that, though. Dragons, they're coming. They're coming in droves.
I'm so excited.
Kagero's bringing the big heat, along with some other stuff. Just so everyone knows, BT17, Kagero, Nova Grapplers, D-Police, Neonectars, Grand Blue, Tachikaze, Link Joker. That's all that's dropping in there. But we're going to focus on what you as the audience member should be focusing on purchasing and building to be in the top tiers of decks. I'm going to go and I'm going to throw out my thing real quick, and then I'm going to hand it over to my panel over here. Keep it short, guys. I love you.
Oh, now with the panel?
So, Think Saver's still going to be top tier. I love Think Saver. That's what I play. Think Saver's going to be top tier. So, if you got your Think Savers, don't jump on and say, like, oh, no, I got to throw this deck in the trash, pick up something else. You're going to be fine. You're going to be great. Speaking of great, let's move on to the Kagero, please.
Now, I do want to add one thing to that. So, Thing Saver is an amazing deck. The only reason Thing Abyss topped as much as it did in Japan was because of sheer numbers. That's it. But Thing Saver is, in my opinion, the better deck. Now, the best deck Kagero, since I've been playing since the trial deck, not to toot my own horn, but
He's so special.
I really think it's a good investment for you. Any of you who want to play the deck, it's going to be top tier. Now, there are going to be a lot of variants of Perditions out there. We can agree on that.
And all of them are good.
All of them are good. But what the Great brings to the game, it's amazing. Like the playtesting that me and Brax and the rest of the team have done, it's been really good. What do you think?
I think the Great is a very versatile card. You can kind of just throw it in anywhere, and it will work.
Definitely.
Drag Nuke's just dirty. Just dirty. I'm
It
gonna
is.
pop 2 dudes, and you're gonna take a damage, and you're just gonna deal with that.
And then you
Menace.
can't do anything about it. Yeah.
Menace Laser, if you want to go budget, that's fine. But Pain Laser, if you want to go budget, that's fine. But the Menace Laser is what is it? Berserk Dragon
Yeah.
like 3.0. It's
Exactly.
insane. It's awesome.
It is pretty good. And Overlord the Great is going to be good in future metas as well. I'm not sure if you keep up with the Japanese meta, but the Cross had it in the deck and did very well. It just gives you so much versatility, flexibility. It's a great card.
All right, I'm going to let you talk about what I think is the third deck in the top tier 0 range. You don't know much about it, but you know a lot about it. Risers. I think they're going to be tier 0, but what is it dependent on?
Ben Cat Butler.
Cat Butler. I mean, if Cat Butler gets restricted to 2, it will be a good deck.
But not tier 0.
If we get 4 Cat Butler, it would be the dominant deck for the rest of eternity until we get Stride format. Why? Because I hear Dote is good, and I hear Dote for free is even better.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's raw card advantage, and there's almost no cost except having freaking Cat Butlers. So if you're a speculator, buy Cat Butlers now. Everybody and their mother will get them.
They're about $3 a piece.
Right now, they should get it. It will spike if we don't get banned. There's also one final deck that comes out, and it bears a bit of mention. Once we get Link Joker there, people can play Luxodia.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, it actually is a deck.
I
It actually.
forgot.
Did you say Lock Zodia?
Yeah,
Lock
Swag.
it actually is a deck, and it actually has killed me with World's End. Once Photon comes in, you go, oh, you have a lock card, Cold Blood, Photon, 5/5, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like
Makes sense.
Dark Zodiac helps it out.
Dark Zodiac helps you out too. So, I mean, it's not going to be tier 0, but it's actually that you have to watch out for because somebody will play it. Cardfight players are like that.
Honorable mention. As far as Link Joker cards go, we got your Dark Zodiac, you got your Blaster Joker. Blaster Joker is good. In my personal opinion, though, my favorite is Image Plane because free triangle locks is always fun.
Yes.
True.
One more, just honorable mention for the future Neonectars. I think they're not going to be completely competitive now, but if there's something, their value, pick them up now because when Stride Meta comes out and GBTO2 releases,
The support's just
the
rolling
support's going to be rolling in for your clan. You finally got a main character. Live it up.
in. Enjoy while you can until she gets retconned.
And for you Tachikaze players, you get a quintet wall. Keep that in sight.
Live that dream. So, I want to move on to something. We always like to look forward a little bit here at Team Absolution. Think about what's coming.
So we already talked about the Neonectar support, but there's something that's really game changing that we need to bring up.
Resist.
How about no?
Resist is... Travis, give us a little bit about Resist and why, for someone who plays the clan that you play, why this is somewhat upsetting news for you.
Now, Resist is in effect in Aquaforce right now, just Aquaforce, where the card can't be targeted by any effects or abilities.
Basically, they hit the note button.
Exactly. It just put a stop to certain decks like Kagero, Eradicators,
Link Joker.
It's going to be very devastating if more clans start to get it. Now, Aquaforce does need something to give them a little extra push to, make them a little more meta. Whether it be tier 1 or tier 0, I'm not sure yet. But it is going to be very frightening for players like me who count on retiring consistently.
Targeting in general.
Or targeting in general, yeah. Just, that's my game plan. I'm going to blow up that dude. I'm going to kill that dude. If I can't do that, well...
Better start swinging it.
Exactly.
I'm also on the agreeing of that. I believe that Aquaforce are in desperate need of something of their own semblance of an advantage system.
Or a gimmick that's good.
A gimmick that's good. Their whole attacking in order to get 4 attacks, though powerful, we saw Tetradad, it was good. Back, Maelstrom, it was good in its time. but it's starting to fade, and with this the power of retire that some of the Legion decks have now, like the Great and the X in the future, and Narukami in general.
And like when Resist comes out, Gear Chronicle's gonna be out. They're gonna just start tucking
Gear
stuff.
Chronicle, they're going to
Exactly,
keep
yeah.
tucking, and Resist is something that I think Aqua Force needs, but I don't think it should spread much beyond Aqua Force, to be fair.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about that is very important. Now, in the game of Cardfight, when an effect takes off, such as restanding, it starts to seep into the other clans, and that cannot happen with Resist. This game will become very stale if. What's the point of having card effects anymore if everything just resists it? So the fact that it needs to just stay in Aqua Force is a big opinion in my part.
I think
Well, I'm going to provide counterpoint. I don't think it has to stay in Aqua Force. There are certain clans that are Vanguard centric instead of Vanguard centric. Those clans need something kind of resist. Aqua Force, I mean, if you play against this Joker, was the most miserable thing in life because it would lock front row and you were like, okay, there goes my whole game plan, I cannot win anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I played rearguard centric clans that the whole shtick was to power your rearguard so you could win to advantage. And playing against things like Narukami and Kagero was the most frustrating thing ever. Because they would just go, oh, kill your dudes, and yeah, your deck's done.
Okay.
I think it's a very
Right,
good
but
kind
I
of
respect that. I respect
Right,
that.
and I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, Aqua Force didn't have. They kind of needed their rig. And you're absolutely right. They needed their riggers to do things. However, Nova Grapplers shouldn't get something like Resist because they can work just fine with straight retire. Because right now with Starlight, Hedge Hollow, and with Blouse with Morgenrot, they had an innate advantage engine, so that they can draw cards to replace their retired units. And also with Victor being a restander coming out soon. They're gonna be, Vic Plasma, there you go. They're gonna be just fine with that.
I'm going to cut this debate short as much as I want, but how about you guys let us know in the comments what you think? Resist, good, bad, who is it good for, who is it bad for, should it spread to other clans? Let us know. We want to hear what your guys' opinions are as well. I'm going to go ahead and push us forward.
Before we push forward, just Resist in general and how it's going to affect,
Rulings?
rulings and stuff like that.
I think it's going to make,
Because, Knuckle Buster.
right.
Knuckle Buster is an attack, technically, but in his wording, the word is choose. And that's the key word that Resist stops, is choose. Since it can't choose it for the attack, can
Now,
it still swing at it? Or
I agree. In that aspect, Resist is going to be very fun because Cardfight for the longest time has just been summon a dude, swing, get triggers, and then a lot of people say, oh, well, it's just a luck-based game. I tend to disagree with that, but, with Resist and the whole G-Strides coming out now, there's a lot of graveyard manipulation, so yeah, I think Vanguard's getting a boost where it needs.
Yeah.
So just ask JD for the rulings when they come out.
Yeah, I
that
think there's
Shout
good
outs to
complexity, there's bad complexity. We want to stick Resist in a good complexity, not a bad complexity. Moving forward, we're going to have a quick discussion about what it means to be meta. We talk a lot about meta here at Team Absolution because we like to win. We like to win a lot.
We do?
Sometimes.
Alright.
Just a bit.
We like to win, and there's this popular misconception out there sometimes that because a deck, the meta just means what's popular. And that is by far not true. Meta, decks that are popular tend to be meta because they're good decks, and people like to win like ourselves, so we play good decks. But just like Spike Brothers, which was played a lot in the ARG,
Didn't see a top though, did you?
I would not like to say it's a meta deck. So we're going to go into a small discussion. I'm actually take a step back now that I've said my 2 cents. I'm going to let my boys step in here.
Now
we're
we
gonna
your boys.
You're my panel, you're my boys, you're my men, you're whatever I want you to be. We're going to start with Jorge. Jorge, give us a simple, short definition of what you think a meta deck is.
Okay, a meta deck is any deck that can pause results. I'm a Magic player, been to GPs. Meta is also basically the percentage. Last GP I went, a certain deck was 20 freaking % of the whole field. And this is huge Magic. That was a meta deck. Why was it meta? Because it was good. Good decks are meta. That's it. The deck, if a deck is good, if a deck is consistent, if a deck, not even if it's affordable, you know, audience, that you're going to drop $100 in that deck if you love it. And generally, people love to win. So if a deck is good, a deck can do it, if a deck can get you to the top, or you believe that you can get to the top, it's meta.
Braxton.
Alright, so, in my opinion, a meta deck is a deck when you compare it to every other deck in the game currently. Reaches its win con the most consistently and the most efficiently. And that's just my take on it.
Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and slide it down over here.
So the one thing that's very important to know about metas is that there are different tiers. That's the most important part. Here in Absolution, we do tier 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, the most important tier, obviously, to us, and hopefully most of you, is tier 0. And, come BT 17, there are going to be 3, in our opinion, tier 0 decks. And that's going to be any variations of Perditions, Thingsaver Abyss, and Cat Butler Risers, which should be banned, but not. Okay, that's a different story. So,
Well, just slightly change it. Any deck with Thingsaver in it.
Okay, yeah, agreed. So Thingsaver Abyss or Thingsaver. We've touched on that a little bit earlier, and my opinions on which one's better. But, like they said, it has to be consistent. It has to be efficient. If you put a meta deck in a very good player's hands, they're most likely going to win. That's what I think meta is.
That doesn't mean that tier 0 has to win every single time. Last time we saw things like Mermaid Stop.
Right.
Yeah.
It just means it wins consistently.
It wins consistently. If you take a tier 0 deck to a tournament and a tier 3 deck to a tournament, you're more likely to win with a tier 0 deck than a tier 2 deck. You can get to the top with a tier 2 deck,
I mean,
kudos to you, but you're more likely to do it with tier 0.
But this is Vanguard, and that's what we love about this game.
Right.
And like just going back to the whole, you can take a tier 2 deck. I mean, we saw
Tetra Burst.
Tetra Burst top. That one deck made it to top 8. One Tetra Burst made it to top 8.
So, anything can happen.
And just going back to the whole, just because people play it, it's the meta. I mean, a lot of people took spikes to ARG and not a single one made it to top 8. All you saw was Thingsaver, Bluish Flame Liberators, one Genesis, one Tetra Burst. And,
That was it.
yeah.
Captain.
Alright, guys. That's Team Absolution. That's Damage Check. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click wherever it is. Somewhere over here is what my guy's telling me. Please watch for this. Tell us what you feel like in the comments.
Comment down low.
Just one piece of advice for the day. Where your heals always come with the 6th, and your drive checks always be double crits.
Bye.
Thanks. Peace out.
Bye!